Cristiano Ronaldo. João Felix. Taken on by Vitinha. Advantage played by referee Taylor. João Neves. Cancelo. Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo is very good in the air still. So PJ Credit's going to go back. A clever try from Ronaldo to try and just knock it over his shoulder into an unguarded net. João Felix paid a price for his bravery getting to the ball, crashed into the hoardings. Look at Ronaldo now.
Yeah. Unai Simon there came for the initial cross and was floundering a little bit. He did well to get a fingertip on that. João Felix knocked back to Ronaldo and then make that stop. Ronaldo couldn't really get any power on it. Back to goal and facing the wrong way, but nice play from Portugal. Good work, João Felix at the back post. Didn't give it up. Kept believing he could keep it in, and that was almost a very useful situation for Portugal. But the goalie there steps off his line to come and get it. If he does that, he's got to make sure he grabs it. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite aware of where he was.
Portugal's first attempt since the 12th minute. It was a very... you can get 40, 50, 60-year-olds, but you've still got pictures in your head like Cristiano Ronaldo had then to see that the goal was... there was a chance of diverting the ball into the goal.
I mean, he'll always had that about him, Martin. Even when the legs perhaps aren't quite as powerful as they once were, his awareness was. Decent ball in from Pedro Neto. Goalie a little bit all over the place, but does well to get back up and recover.
Pedro Neto is at the centre of an Anthony Taylor judgment that he's not quite in tune with. Will be dropped in Spain's direction.
It's a lot easier to get them boots on nowadays, Martin, isn't it? Hey, look. Just literally
like those,
slide your foot in.
Those slip-in trainers.
That's it, they are.
They're designed for people your age. The boots are designed for Pedro Neto. And I've got 3 or 4 pairs here. Not football boots. Here is Felix in the centre of attention again. Pedro Porro is going to get a talking to.
Yeah, he's giving as much chance as he possibly can, Anthony Taylor here. That's a little bit niggly from Pedro Porro. Fullback wanting to let a winger know exactly that he's there, but I don't think there'll be too many more before Anthony Taylor starts clamping down on a few of those. What a switch that is.
And what an anticipation by João Cancelo to realise that he set off and dictated the pass. Actually, he was on his bike. This has been given as a corner. It might be one of those that will be checked.
Great run from João Cancelo. Portugal fullbacks, they can do that from first minute to last, charge up and down, not a problem for them.
On the boots. Now to Pedro Neto's liking. It's a congested goal area. Unai Simon. I need to have a clear view of this. Particularly if it's whipped in with pace.
I presume that chunk out the back of his boot is deliberate, Martin.
We could go on all day about what the modern player does. I think there's an advantage to be gained. Scoring a goal is the best way to get an advantage. Off the bar. Bruno Mendes. Deflection along the way.
As soon as I saw the deflection, I thought he was in. Just a little bit too much room there for Nuno Mendes, who is not afraid to let fly from that sort of distance. Watch this, he hits this nice and hard, he really does. And it's Pedro Porro You're always tempted to put something on it if you can, but it can often fly past your own goalkeeper.
Was disappearing from sight. Nuno Mendes to get purchase on the long throw, but Taylor has seen something which I think means the throw will be retaken.
Yeah, Mark Cucurella went down, but I think Anthony Taylor had just seen them getting involved a little bit at the near post, so he's ordered the throw-in to be retaken.
And it's not a long throw on the retake. It's a cross, the best one from Nuno Mendes. João Felix trying to win it back. And Lamine miles away. Oyarzabal's up with him.
Great feet.
He's still sitting on the ground expecting him to get the free kick. Spain picking up the ball, not quite in the most advantageous situation, but they've worked it back again. And a double trip? No.
And that's really good defensive work from João Felix. Watching them strive to try and get him back and just get an all-important foot in.
Not much margin for error there.
No. You haven't got long either, Martin. If you do receive that ball 40 yards from the opposition goal, it won't be long before someone is trying to pinch it off you. Got to make that decision pretty quickly. What are you going to do with it?
Vega. Vitinha. Felix actually emerged the last 10 minutes or so as quite a significant figure in the match, trying to push Portugal onwards, but doing his share in the opposite direction. Here's Bruno Fernandes got some space here. Although maybe if he'd been a little bit more central, the pass would take him a bit more centrally.
Yeah, that's his first thought all the time, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, can he get a yard and get his shot away? Couldn't there, it was a long way out.
It's Pedro Neto. Vitinha. A number of these players were playing in the States last year with their club sides. Pedro Neto had a great tournament in the Club World Cup. He scored 3 goals. Chelsea won it. Nuno Mendes. Lamine Mal, who I'm sure has been briefed about what he's going to do. He would rather be doing what he nearly accomplished a couple of minutes ago. That should be the goalkeeper's ball. It's competent with Unai Simon.
Yeah, nice work. Neat and tidy, nice and clean with the catch. Ronaldo just hovering a little bit in behind Unai Simon, but good work.
Porro. Spain threatening, but Portugal not without a sign or two of a punch of their own. Here's Baena, Cucurella. Laporte takes over. Oh, Danny almost found space again and found Oyarzabal. Didn't quite switch it. And then a hit and hope really from Rodri. Yeah. 6 added minutes before half time.
Yeah, that's a fan on the receiving end of that one from Rodri. I think you can see Dani Olmo on the right side of the screen there saying, let's keep the ball. Always tempting, Martin, midfield players when you're in that shooting range. And it's afterwards you often regret that perhaps you didn't just go wide and keep the pressure on. Just relieves all the pressure when you blast it over the bar.
I saw you blast plenty into the opponent's net, by the way.
I can tell you there was a good few that went over the top as well.
I did see some of those too. João Neves. Ronaldo makes the run. Darting out in time was Unai Simon. Spain trying to act quickly from the goalkeeper's distribution, but Portugal get back very quickly. Oh, it's Baena. Pedro Porro, play it inside Nuno Mendes for Lamine Yamal. He did just that, but it was offside, it wouldn't have counted.
Good movement from him though. And I think he's got to mix it up with against Nuno Mendes. Look, decides to just dart in behind. Once you make that decision, you can't wait. I don't think Pedro Porro did a lot wrong there. He's just always a little too early and going to be offside, but that's better from him. He can have it to feet, but also skip in behind occasionally.
Spain, you sense, really looking to up it before the break here. Got a free kick. Not a great angle for the challenge.
No. It's a long way out, this one, Martin. An awful long way out. And we have seen them over the years. Previous World Cups, we've seen them fly in from this sort of range, but that's a long
By the way,
way.
that's a nice banner, isn't it? The legend versus the future. Ronaldo versus Lamine. Yes, but it is a ball that stays hit. We've emphasised that plenty of times. We've seen some wonderful goals struck from outside the penalty area. And plenty of headers as well. Which might be more the latter route to an opening goal here. And that was actually on target, but maybe there was an offside on the initial knockback.
Well, the game's gone pretty much according to plan, hasn't it? It's very tight. It really is. The first goal in this one is going to be huge for whichever team is able to find it, but they both had their moments.
I think it could have been tighter, couldn't it? I mean,
Yep.
I was telling Andy before the game, a very good friend in Portuguese football said, be prepared for a long game, hinting that there would be a lot of caution involved. There's been sensible defensive play, but creativity hasn't been off the menu. Angled on by Nuno Mendes. João Neves. There's another of the Paris Saint-Germain players involved in this game. Now Felix has a nice idea just to reverse it back. Not too much on it. Doing that, fetching and carrying and passing the responsibility and the ball to others. Like Oyarzabal, Correa, Oyarzabal again. Spain going nowhere on that passage of play.
Yeah, it's getting too deep there. Oyarzabal getting involved in areas where he doesn't really want to be doing that.
He's really a late developer. They played him through the middle of his club and now for his country. And running through the middle here at the other end is João Felix. He never really settled in one club. Oyarzabal has only played for one club, Real Sociedad, whereas as Pedro Porro goes careering across. João Felix has been around the block a few times.
Oh, he has. Yes, he has.
Not
You're right.
settled.
Never really stuck it out for a significant period of time anywhere. But he's talented. He's a very talented boy, and he can play in a number of positions. He could play as a 10. He's playing off one side. It's not ideal for him today, but both teams, Martin, have got some good players on the bench, who can have a big effect in this game too. It might come to that. It might well come to whichever manager is brave enough to make those changes first. That could be the difference.
Well, at half-time, there's been only a It's Nina Mendes' shot deflecting onto the crossbar, closest we've seen Diogo to make some saves, probably more saves than his opposite number, but one or two of them have been routine. And we reach the break in Dallas. Portugal 0, Spain 0.
So long.